Today I want to talk about lighthouses, their history, the science behind them, and the people who kept them. It's a story that runs from the ancient world right up to the present day. Let's begin at the beginning. The most famous lighthouse of the ancient world stood in the great Egyptian city of Alexandria. It was an enormous structure, considered one of the wonders of its age, and it guided ships safely into one of the busiest harbors of the ancient Mediterranean. For our purposes, it marks the start of the long history of the lighthouse as a deliberate aid to navigation. Now, how did these early lighthouses actually produce light? The answer is simple: by fire. A fire, usually burning wood, and later coal, was kept blazing at the top of a tall tower, and the glow could be seen by ships out at sea. It was effective, but it had serious limitations. The biggest problem was the weather. The light from an open fire was relatively weak, and it was easily obscured by fog, which could hide it completely just when it was most needed. The great leap forward came in the 19th century, and it was essentially an advance in optics. Engineers began to use a special kind of lens, a carefully shaped piece of glass, that gathered the light from the lamp and concentrated it into a powerful, focused beam. The effect was dramatic. This made the light far brighter than anything achieved before, and a well-equipped lighthouse could now be seen from many kilometers out to sea, even in poor conditions. Of course, none of this worked without the keeper. The lighthouse keeper's life was one of relentless routine. The lamp and its lens had to be kept spotless, because even a thin film of salt could dim the beam, so the keeper cleaned the glass every morning, without fail. But the duties went well beyond the light itself. Keepers also kept detailed records. They noted the weather, hour by hour, and logged the passing of ships. And on the most isolated stations, those built on bare rocks far from land, life depended on deliveries from outside. Food and fuel arrived by boat, whenever the sea was calm enough to allow it. Finally, let's turn to the decline of the keeper's profession, which came gradually over the 20th century. The first step was the conversion of the lamps to electricity, which removed much of the manual labor. Then came the truly decisive change. The lamps were made automatic, switching themselves on and off, and even reporting faults by themselves, so that no human presence was needed at all. One by one, the keepers were withdrawn. Today, the lights still shine, but they are watched from afar, monitored remotely from distant control centers, rather than by a keeper climbing the stairs each night. The long human watch, in other words, has finally come to an end.